really loved getting to work on this record. We recorded with so many guest artists. We did the recordings in California, in London, in Madrid, in Sevilla, in many cities in India. And that's something I love about modern recording, because it just opens up so many options. I've always just kind of had Indian music, of course, but then also flamenco as two of my favorite styles of music. From when I was really young, I've always just reacted to that music very instinctively and very emotionally. So on one level, it was just a very primal love of the music for me. But then as I grew up and was learning Indian music and playing Indian classical music, then listening to flamenco again with a bit more of a studied ear, then I was also mentally very fascinated, because there are so many similarities between the two styles, even though they're completely different. There's a song called Dancing in Madness that I was really excited to do. I'd written it as a solo sitar piece of music and had an Indian dancer in mind with a lot of the rhythmic things that I wrote. Her name is Maithili Prakash, and she's a beautiful Bharatanatyam dancer I've been friends with for years. And I showed this piece to Javier, and he said, "Oh, we should get Farruko on it." And I said, "What do you mean we should get him on it?" And he said, "Well, he should record." And I said, "But isn't he a dancer?" And he said, "No, we should record his feet." And I'd forgotten that in flamenco that's something people do, is they record the dancer's feet. And so we recorded him, and he blew my mind. I mean, just the rhythmic virtuosity, it was incredible. And so to parallel that, we also recorded Maithili's feet. And I'm not sure if that's something that's been done before, but of course the Indian dancing is also very rhythmic, and she wears bells when she dances. So we got the sound of both their feet, and it's almost like a duet that I can picture in my head when you hear them. Casi Una was a really lovely experience. It was one of those moments I feel really fortunate to have as a musician, because I'd never met Buika before the day we recorded the song, and I'd heard her voice and was completely inspired by it, and I wrote some lyrics. So we spent literally 10 minutes working on it. And then Buika came in, and of course when she sang it, it sounded amazing. So we worked for half an hour, and then we recorded the song. And it felt really just natural and organic and inspired, and I think sometimes moments like that can get lost today when you work with all these different people, different styles. It can become very technical, and you record separately and never see the person. And so to have a real moment like that of just recording together again and letting it be free and improvised was very trusting and very musical.
Cuando llega la mañana, me agarro con fuerza, me agarro con fuerza, me agarro con fuerza. Pero ya sabía que era hora de dejar tu cuerpo apretado, casi dormido, casi dormido, casi dormido, casi dormido.
Honestly, this record couldn't have happened without Javier Limón. He was so integral to all of the music, and we worked together really, really well. I've had that experience a few times, not many times though, where you're able to meet someone and trust them enough and have enough of a chemistry to be able to write music together. I don't think that can happen very easily. But with Javier, it really worked. I could come to him with some ideas that were not flamenco, just my own melodies, my own ideas in a raga of Indian classical music, and he could hear them, and together we could put them into a flamenco rhythm, for example. But then also he could come to me and say, "Oh, there is this form, like a seguria or a granaina, it goes like this," and then I could work with him. So we really worked very well together, and so all of the pieces on the album, I would say, are really a collaboration between both of us. Even if it was my composition, he did the complete arrangement, so he was really important.